They came in trying to intimidate Naoya Inoue.
I know the whole world is hyping up about, undisputed Inoue, a monster, and this and that. I don't care about that. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm gonna do in that ring.
They acted like unhinged villains who thought they were built different.
My job is to beat him.
They believed they were a type of madness Inoue had never faced before.
You know, I also want to be his because I want to show people that I got it too, you know?
But the moment those legendary Japanese fists started flying, the bravado quickly disappeared.
And Inoue returns the favor.
Trash talk turned into silence.
The right hand. He just answered the question. As Neri has crumbled.
Resistance turned into submission.
But even against not exactly,
It was total surrender. These are the moments when Naoya Inoue collided with so-called psychopaths and showed them that, in the end, he was the greater demon. In May 2024, Naoya Inoue stepped into the Tokyo Dome as the undisputed ruler of the division, with the lights bouncing off 4 super bantamweight titles wrapped tightly around him. Those belts weren't decorations. They were proof of years of quiet brutality. Japan's legendary monster was expected to dominate once again, but what unfolded that night went far beyond routine excellence. Waiting for him was Luis Pantera Neri, a fiery Mexican southpaw armed with explosive punches and the kind of stare that signals chaos.
You know, I also want to be his because I want to show people that I got it too, you know?
It was elite versus elite, and from the opening bell, the tension felt combustible. Inoi marched forward with trademark composure, yet within moments, Neri would send shockwaves through the entire boxing universe.
Early on. That the fight can be ending on the other way. He can get knocked out. Neri has a tendency of getting caught early in fights and goes down. And I can tell you, if Inoue lands on Neri and he goes down, he's one of the best finishers in the game. He's going to finish the fight test.
Right hand coming through from Inoue early on, willing to fire it. 2023 Fighter of the Year. First Japanese fighter to win that Boxing Writers Award in 85 years. So he'll be in New York City June 6th to accept that. As Neri comes forward against the monster.
I like that from Neri. It's dangerous. However, when he got to be careful reaching right there. You're in there with a vicious counterpuncher in Inoue. But that sequence before this test, coming behind his double jab, just taking advantage of that low lead of Inoue. Inoue tends to bag out in straight lines. He drops that left hand, and when he throws the left hook, he has a tail. He drops that left hand first before he leads with that left hook. So that'll be a telltale sign. If Nori and his team has studied film, they'll know that. Neri right now doesn't seem spooked by the punching power. Oh! There it is!
Inoue goes down! Luis Neri with a first-round knockdown of the monster!
In the inside right here, you see Neri set up the shot. See the small uppercut right there, but you see when Inoue tends to throw one hand, that left hand, the opposite hand tends to drop. Poor fundamental habits right there from Naoya Inoue.
Luis Neri determined to deliver on it. Goes to the body with a left hand. Now on the inside, Inoue covering up, tries to deliver a right hand of his own, an uppercut. Comes through, but Neri unaffected.
By the second round, Inoi adjusted with frightening intelligence, slicing through Neri's guard and reclaiming control.
He's the bigger, stronger fighter. He fought at 118. Now he's at 122. He's the bigger man in there, and he seems to be the stronger man as well.
Of course, the titleist at 118 and 122. And now, how does the monster react as he goes back to the jab? As you can hear this massive crowd in Tokyo trying to rally support for their hero. You have to go all the way back. The last major fight card was Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson in February.
Soon after, the tables turned completely as the champion answered back with authority. But the real question was whether Neri could survive the momentum swing.
Round number 2 in that first round, Neri landed 10 power punches of his 15 total connects.
See, but
Short left hand flooring Inoue.
But Neri seems to be changing up his attack, Tess. Right now, he's trying to be patient. He's trying to catch Inoue out of position. When Inoue commits, he's out of position.
Oh,
there it is.
Inoue returns the favor.
Lunging forward. Neri again on the attack, coming forward, reaching with that left hand. You see him forward shift. And Inoue right there just filling that gap or that space with that left hook. Here he is reaching with the backhand. Inoue stepping back, has a single high shield. Oh, why don't you eat that, young man? Go ahead and sit down.
And Tim, that is a prime example of what you described in terms of elite technique and athleticism.
Yes.
You just saw it from Inoue. That was from about 4 to 6 inches away. And watch that back foot.
Feet and hand working together. That's a bad habit from Neri. I don't know if he was extremely...
Round 3 saw Inoue settle into his groove, snapping sharp combinations and steadily increasing the damage as the seconds ticked away.
Advantage and scored the knockdown. So swapping 10-8 rounds to open up this championship event.
Inoue is starting to anticipate the offense of Neri. And he understands that Neri overcommits at times. He's just taking that half a step, sometimes a full step back to counter. When a fighter starts to anticipate Tess, actions and reactions, that's when things start to slow down for him. Understand that. Things start to slow down. You hear that saying all the time. Does it slow down for you in the ring?
Right.
Yeah, it does. You know, the mind is faster than the actual reaction, which slows things down. So Inoue knows what he must do. He started to anticipate these shots coming from Neri.
This combination from Inoue. And now he goes with that right hand to the body. Remember, it was a body shot that caused Neri's only defeat of his career.
The technical prowess of Inoue right now, and the speed, the coordination, the punch placement right now is giving Neri fits. Neri understands that he can't compete with that. He's looking for that single shot. He's looking for Inoue to make a mistake to make him pay. If Inoue gets overconfident and throws too many shots and get a little bit greedy, there's a chance for Neri to be able to land his signature punch, which is that left hand, Tess. Good right hand. Inoue now is getting comfortable, getting in the groove.
Oh, there's another one, Timmy.
Yeah, he's getting in the groove now. Anticipation is on. Neri better change things up. He better start feinting, start using his jab.
Oh, there's another one that splits the guard. That right hand is being placed well.
The pressure only grew heavier in the fourth, as Inoue's jab and hooks began tearing holes in Neri's defense with surgical cruelty.
Opponent of Inoue outlanded the monster in the last 46 rounds. 45 previous rounds, Inoue had more total connects until the first round tonight against Neri.
Neri's gonna have to compete with that speed. He's gonna have to compete with it with timing. Timing has a way of beating speed. Placing those shots in between the shots of Inoue. And he's gonna have to prevent that bump from coming, Tess. His defense has to get better. He has to be responsible after his offense.
4-punch combination from Inoue. There's that pop right hand. Again, it's finding the target. The undisputed champion finding more of his rhythm offensively after being floored in the first round.
Inoue seems to be softening him up right now. He's just taking advantage of those poor fundamental habits.
Oh, look at this! Little showboat, trying to draw him in and then firing off.
By round 5, the monster was operating at full capacity, while Neri stood trapped and absorbed punishment with nowhere left to run.
Nearly connected with that left hook that scored the knockdown.
Yeah, the positioning of Inoue, top notch.
Oh, there's 2 right hands. Backs up Neri for a moment. Now he inches ahead.
See, positioning is the placement of a boxer compared or in relation to your opponent. You know, when you're facing the southpaw in his overstands battle, of course you need to have lead foot dominance. Inoue, he's having his way. with the lead foot. Neri is constantly moving to his left towards the right hand. That's why he keeps eating those right hands.
Good right hand returning fire. Neri stepping forward, and Inoue welcoming that. There is a certain sound to the combination punching of Inoue that's very distinct. Perhaps an opportunity for Neri, but with them comes great risk. Like that!
There it is.
There's the risk with no reward! Left hook scores the knockdown again!
Being calm in the storm. You see right there, just found a little gap right there. Lead hand is down of Neri on the inside. Inoue noticing that. He's attempted there, just missed off the mark, but he dips under. You see his eyes. He's looking right at Neri. He sees those hands. Pull away from that face.
When
And
we
he
talk
sinks in
about
that left
punching
hook.
technique, Tim,
Look at this.
when
look
you
at this.
talk about the ability to turn a punch over in the last few inches of the
Short,
delivery
short,
system.
yes.
Under 30 seconds to go, facing one of the great closers in recent boxing history. Here comes the monster. Right hand, stood up to it for the moment. Inoue on.
With Neri teetering on the edge, Inoue needed just one decisive moment to seal the inevitable conclusion.
But there are levels to this game. And guys like Inoue and Bud Crawford are currently just on a far different pedestal.
That speed and quickness, Tessa, you alluded to it. The accuracy and how he's able to generate that power from short distance like that, with that much torque, that much power. It's brilliant stuff right there from Inoue.
Just stands up to that offensive effort from Inoue, from Neri, and fires back. Oh, his right hand.
Goodness.
Combination up top.
This almost over, Tess. Neri can't keep taking these type of shots over and over and over.
What do you see as a potential finisher here, Tim? There's the
There
right
he is.
hand! He just answered the question! As Neri has crumbled and the monster has roared! He's done it again! Of Luis Neri, Tim, there are not enough superlatives to paint on this performance from the second round on.
No, not at all. And that finish right there, I mean, what do you say, Tess? And look at the way Neri hit the canvas. Knees buckled. Got hit with an uppercut, short uppercut right there on the inside. But then that short right hand has that type of effect. Like, gosh, that's just different level of technique right there and punching power. That's God-given stuff right there. You know, Tess, you know what the difference is, really, with the Terrence Crawfords or the Inoues of the world? Their athleticism is godly.
And still, the undefeated, undisputed super bantamweight champion of the world, Naoya Monster Inoue!
Only because of the lower weight classes.
The victory said everything, but this was merely another chapter in Inoue's long history of brilliance, as he continued to take out one big guy after another, en route to greatness. In between, he'd hand numerous guys their first taste of defeat, and Inoue's next opponent was no different. When Naoya Inoue entered the ring opposite Murodjon Akmadaliev in 2025, it was immediately clear this was no ordinary title defense. This was a meeting of two elite threats at the very top of the division. Inoue arrived as a decorated champion, carrying a fearsome reputation built on accuracy, timing, and ruthless efficiency. Each punch Inoue threw carried intention and menace, the very traits that had earned him the name The Monster, and expectations were sky high for another night of total control. For Inoue, the mission was simple but enormous. A win would further cement his authority at super bantamweight and confirm that even the most relentless challengers could not derail his path. Defeat was never part of the equation, because every appearance was another opportunity to remind the world why opponents dreaded sharing the ring with him and why his pound-for-pound legacy was already taking shape. Standing across from him was Murodjon Akmadaliev, a hardened Uzbek contender who had clawed his way to the top through an unshakable belief in his own ability.
I know the whole world is hyping up about, undisputed Inoue, a monster, and this and that. I don't care about that. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm going to do in that ring.
The opening round was cautious and tight, with both men feeling each other out.
デビュー2012年30戦全勝。この全勝1993年4月10日生まれ。
Inoue worked behind a probing jab and slipped a sharp right into the body, while Murodjon Akmadaliev remained calm and watchful, waiting for mistakes like the seasoned counterpuncher he is.
10 seconds.
The tone shifted in the third when Inoue landed a heavy right-hand flush on Akmadaliev's jaw. The challenger smiled it off, but the message was clear. The champion was warming up, increasing his tempo, and beginning to separate himself with speed and precision. Aside from a quirky habit of shaking his left glove, Akmadaliev struggled to assert himself. In the fourth, he finally found Inoue with a couple of clean shots, but any momentum was short-lived. Inoue answered immediately, his footwork and hand speed denying Akmadaliev the space he needed to counter effectively. Though often labeled purely as a knockout machine, Inoue showed his full range as the middle rounds unfolded. Against an Olympic bronze medalist, he picked spots brilliantly, landing single shots, controlling distance, and dictating the rhythm as if he was sparring rather than fighting a world-class opponent. There was a brief moment of drama in the sixth when Akmadaliev managed to trap Inoue against the ropes and let his hands go. The crowd gasped as Inoue calmly fired back with compact combinations to the body, forcing Akmadaliev to retreat and resetting the hierarchy in the ring. By the later rounds, the gap was obvious, and Morojon now needed a miracle to turn the tide in his favor. Akmadaliev needed something dramatic, but he couldn't match Inoue's speed, power, or ring intelligence. He chased, missed, and grew visibly frustrated, unable to crack the puzzle in front of him. The ninth round was the clearest example of Inoue at his best. He ripped off vicious three-punch combinations and landed a perfectly timed right uppercut off the ropes. Akmadaliev absorbed it bravely, but the damage was unmistakable. To his credit, Akmadaliev found modest success in the 10th, landing enough clean shots to edge the round, but it still felt more like a brief interruption than a genuine shift in control. In the championship rounds, normal order was restored.
Is a possibility here in this one. As much and as flush as Inoue has landed, there really, Morgan, has been one time that we've seen any movement in the leg of Akmadaliev that might have suggested he was impacted or hurt.
Yeah, Akmadaliev is tough. Tougher than we would have known that he is, because when else would somebody do this to him. Even that fight he lost to Marlon Tapales was not like this. And you hear Akmadaliev's corner urging him to come on, to be busier. But again, he has to calculate the cost of being busier. You hear them asking Akmadaliev to go to the body first, to jab up and down. But again, it's one thing to see that shot from the corner. It's another thing to be able to pull it off against Inoue, who's always ready with a counter.
And at this point in the fight, too, if you're thinking of body shots as a method to slow Inoue down,
yes,
you know, there are less than 4 minutes remaining in the
Inoue glided around the ring, peppering Akmadaliev with sharp shots while taking almost nothing in return.
An attitude can shift over the course of 33 minutes, because on the way into this fight, it was this guy's afraid of you, he's been ducking you for 2 years. On the way into the last round is do it for Uzbekistan. When they're saying do it for Uzbekistan and have to remind you that you have Uzbek power, it's because they are out of practical answers.
Yeah, and it's an obvious acknowledgement of where the scorecards are.
Yes.
And I don't think that anyone scoring at home would think that this is particularly close, but
no, this should be a shutout. Maybe one round for Akmadaliev. But again, it's just so far away from his thought process, his attitude, his outlet going into this fight, his outlook going into this fight. What he thought was, here's a guy that's scared of me, and I'm going to show him why he's been scared of me, and I'm going to show you all why this guy's been scared of me. And again, he learned very quickly that Inoue is not scared. And he learned very quickly that Inoue just presented a puzzle that he couldn't solve.
Well, in fact, he has an opponent here tonight in Inoue who's asking for more engagement.
Yes. And again, Akmadaliev, he's at his best when he can get you to make a mistake and he can counter, and Inoue just has not made the mistakes tonight.
Final minute of the contest. No, Inoue would love a final round knockout. Akmadaliev not presenting too many glaring openings,
no.
But yet Inoue still finds them, even against a fighter who is thinking defense first,
yes,
even in a round in which he needs a knockout.
That's another testament to just the thoroughness with which Inoue has outclassed Akmadaliev. Akmadaliev knows he needs a knockout, but he's still playing defense. He wobbled him there.
Oh my goodness, he found the shot. Will it be too late? In the final moments of the fight, Akmadaliev found the shot that he was looking for.
When the final bell rang, there was no doubt that Inoue had owned the night, as it was a flawless exhibition of skill, composure, and elite ring IQ from the man they call the Monster. At 32, Naoya Inoue has nearly wiped out the super bantamweight division. The only looming challenge is a massive one in the form of fellow Japanese superstar and pound-for-pound standout Junto Nakatani, who was watching Inoue take Murajon apart from ringside. A three-division world champion, Nakatani has already vacated his bantamweight titles and is moving up with clear intentions. A clash between the two wouldn't just be the biggest fight in Japan, it would be one of boxing's most compelling global events. If all goes as expected, that showdown is on course to become reality in 2026. For the moment, Naoya Inoue stands as the supreme force in the lighter weight classes, at least until someone proves otherwise, though the debate is far from settled. So the question remains, is Naoya Inoue truly the greatest of all time? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more deep dives into boxing history and elite fighters, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and switch on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.